The train station smelled of coal smoke and goodbye, a place where hopes arrived trembling and left broken without ceremony. And she stood there, clutching a small cloth bag, like it was the last piece of her life that hadn't already been taken from her. Her dress, once white, now bore the stains of dust, travel, and quiet humiliation, the kind that seeps into a woman's bones when doors close too many times. People passed her without looking, boots striking the wooden platform with urgency, laughter spilling from reunions that were not hers. She had come to this station believing it was an ending, or maybe a beginning. She wasn't sure anymore. All she knew was that the town behind her had turned its face away. The boarding house owner had shaken his head before she even finished speaking. The factory foreman hadn't bothered to hide his disgust. No references, no husband, no family, he'd said, as if those words were a crime. Each rejection stacked itself on her chest until breathing felt like work. She had nothing left to sell but her dignity, and she was too tired to offer even that. So she stood there, waiting for a train she wasn't sure she could afford, wondering if it was better to leave or to disappear entirely. She barely noticed the man at first. Cowboys were common in towns like this. Dusty coats, tired eyes, hands shaped by work and weather. What she did notice were the children. Two little girls, red-haired like flames caught in the sun, clung to his coat, their small fingers gripping fabric as if the world might steal him too. They watched her openly, not with judgment, but with the unfiltered curiosity of children who haven't yet learned how cruel adults can be. She turned away, ashamed of the tears she could no longer hold back. And that was when the station master's voice cut through her like a blade. "You can't stay here," he said sharply. "If you ain't boarding or buying, you move on." Heads turned. Eyes weighed her worth in a single glance. Heat flooded her face as she nodded and whispered an apology she didn't owe anyone. She stepped toward the edge of the platform, unsure where her feet would carry her next, only that standing still was no longer allowed. "Miss?" The word was quiet, almost lost beneath the hiss of steam, but it stopped her cold. She turned slowly, expecting another command, another dismissal. Instead, she saw the cowboy a few steps away, his hat pushed back, just enough to reveal eyes lined with exhaustion and something softer she hadn't seen directed at her in a long time, concern. He hesitated, as if unsure he had the right to speak, then gestured vaguely toward the bench behind him. "You look like you could use a moment," he said. His voice wasn't polished. It carried the rough edges of the plains, but there was care in it. She almost refused out of habit. Almost told him she was fine, that she didn't need charity. But her legs betrayed her, and before pride could catch up, she found herself sitting, hands shaking in her lap. The girls hovered close, one on either side of him. "I'm sorry if I'm overstepping," he continued, lowering his voice. "But I heard what the station master said. Towns can be hard on folks who don't fit neat boxes." The way he said folks, like it included her without question, cracked something open. She laughed once, hollow and sharp. "Hard is one word for it," she replied. Silence stretched, but it wasn't uncomfortable. It felt safe. She hadn't felt that in a long time. A train roared past on the far track, wind tugging at her skirt, and for a moment she imagined throwing herself into motion, letting it carry her anywhere else. When the noise faded, she realized the cowboy was watching her carefully, as if memorizing her expression. The girls, sensing the weight of the moment, leaned into him. He rested a hand on each of their shoulders, grounding all three of them. "These are my daughters," he said finally. "Twins, Emma and Elsie." The girls nodded solemnly, their eyes never leaving her face. "I'm Daniel," he added. "We're on our way somewhere new." She nodded, unsure why this mattered, yet grateful for the distraction from her own despair. "I'm Anna," she said. The name felt strange in her mouth, as if she hadn't spoken it in years. Daniel repeated it softly, testing its shape, and something about the way he did made her feel seen, not as a burden, not as a problem, as a person. The station clock ticked loudly behind them, counting down to decisions none of them were ready to make. Daniel glanced at the girls, then back at Anna, his jaw tightening as if he were wrestling with something heavy. "Their mother passed 2 winters ago," he said. The words were plain, but grief lived between them. "I've done my best, but I work long days. Ranch life isn't gentle, and, well, little girls need more than a tired man who smells like horses." Emma reached for his hand, squeezing it, and Elsie mirrored the motion, as if afraid he might vanish mid-sentence. Anna swallowed. She didn't know why he was telling her this. But she listened because listening felt better than waiting for the next rejection. "I'm sorry," she said quietly. "They're lucky to have you." Daniel shook his head, a sad smile touching his lips. "I don't know about lucky, but I love them. That part I'm certain of." The train whistle sounded again, closer this time. People began lining up, tickets in hand, futures secured. Anna stood abruptly, panic rising. "I should go," she said, already backing away. "Thank you for the rest." Habit told her to disappear before kindness turned conditional, before she owed something she couldn't give. "Wait," Daniel said, urgency slipping into his voice. He stepped closer, lowering himself so the girls wouldn't hear what came next. His eyes searched hers, raw and honest. "I know this is sudden, and I don't know your story, but I saw how they looked at you." He nodded toward the twins, who were whispering to each other, glancing over, shyly. "And I saw how you looked at them, like you remembered how to breathe." He paused, then spoke the words that would change everything. "My twins need a mother like you." The world tilted. Anna stared at him, convinced she had misheard. "You don't even know me," she whispered. Fear and hope collided in her chest, a dangerous combination. Daniel nodded. "No, I don't. But I know what loss looks like. I know what being turned away does to a person. And I know that sometimes God or fate, or whatever you believe in, puts people in the same place at the exact moment they're about to give up." His voice trembled, betraying how much this cost him to say. She shook her head, tears spilling freely now. I've been rejected everywhere," she said. "I have nothing. No money, no guarantees." Daniel didn't flinch. "Neither did I once," he replied. "All I can offer is a roof, honest work, and respect. I'm not asking for an answer now. Just consider it." The train pulled in with a scream of metal, drowning out the pounding of her heart. Passengers boarded. Doors slammed. Time fractured into seconds she couldn't afford to waste. She looked at the twins, at Emma's hopeful smile, at Elsie's cautious grip on her sister's sleeve, and felt something ancient stir inside her, purpose, belonging, the kind of love that didn't need permission to exist. "I don't know if I can be what you're asking," Anna said softly. Daniel met her gaze without blinking. "I don't need perfect," he said. "I need real." He extended his hand, the same one she'd seen earlier reaching out to the world. This time it was meant for her. She didn't take it yet. Fear whispered all the reasons she should run, why this would end in more pain. But another voice, quieter and braver, reminded her that staying had already broken her. As the train doors began to close, Anna made a choice, not to accept, not yet, but to hope. She placed her hand in his, tentative but warm. "I'll come," she said. "I'll try." Daniel exhaled, a breath he'd been holding for years. The twins beamed, wrapping their arms around her waist without asking permission, as if they'd already decided. And as the train pulled away, leaving the station and her rejection behind, Anna felt something she hadn't felt since before the world hardened her. She felt wanted. If this story stirred something in your heart, if you believe second chances can appear when we least expect them, subscribe to the channel now. You won't want to miss what happens next, because sometimes the family we're meant for is waiting at the very edge of giving up.